If you go on the Moodle site, you will see that same programme of events. And last Tuesday, I had to sit some people down and actually point out which part of the Moodle site gives you that self-same information. So you will get that information, and it is updated for you on a monthly basis. So Sam gets it, I get it, and you therefore get it. Last week, several of you ticked a few boxes, scored my listing of employability skills. What do you want? What do you need? What do you want us to cover? Huge number of you ticked almost the entirety of the list, thank you very much, but a huge number of you ticked the ability to self-evaluate. Probably a number of you tick that box because you're not really sure what that means. It means professional review, it means the PDP, it means thinking about your future. Not necessarily making all those decisions right now, but thinking about your future. Rather obviously, a huge number of you ticked the networking box, and somebody came to see me on Tuesday and said, I don't know how to. Again, I point them in the direction of the listing of events on Moodle. As Sam has referenced, there was an event specifically for students and Novus last night. I know a handful of you were there. I just want to point out to you that somebody that was there last night, this morning was offered a placement with Mace. Obviously, they had stepped further forward, they had filled in the application form, the process was ongoing. It wasn't quite so random as they were picked out from the crowd. However, it does work on who you know. They made a huge impression last night in the nicest possible way, I hope. And this morning, that offer of a placement came through. So all those opportunities are there for you. I've now just got to tell you a few more domestic things. We have a designated CIOB Novus rep for Greenwich University. It's not IO. IO's just here for the love of seeing you today. Your designated rep is a lady called Victoria Turner. She currently works for Taylor Wimpey. She used to work for United House. She and a couple of the other members of Novus have set up the Bright Futures CIOB London Branch Challenge. That's being hosted here in a couple of weeks' time. A couple of weeks? Yeah, it is a couple of weeks' time. And we're going to sort out the logistics later this evening. Vicky's your representative. She will meet you in due course. I'm also dragging poor Vicky in to meet the first years and the second years, so she's a little bit busy at the moment. Again, she's a role model. She was nominated as one of the young project managers of the year, and she is absolutely brilliant in terms of her level of enthusiasm. Jason, we're a bit fed up with Jason. We're up to here with Jason. My money's on Jason to be the president of the CIOB one day. I just see that path, it's inevitable. However, this is the man I'm pushing. My mate, IO's going to be the president before Jason. That one. And hopefully some of you will be out there and supporting him too, because it is about that demographic. It is about that profile. So, what else have I got to tell you? The really, really boring stuff. If you haven't noticed already, there is generic feedback on Moodle, particular to your formative assignment. My suggestion is if you read that generic feedback, you'll probably know what your personal feedback's going to say. Because most of the issues, I'm not going to say errors or failures, but most of the issues are common. And they're largely in those areas of the work where you can pick up 5 to 10% just by rectifying the format, the way you've written, the way you've referenced your assignments. Your summative will be published at some stage this weekend with obviously the dates for submission. Fortuitously, this man has experience in the area of your summative. Some of you may have noticed, some of you may have just slept through this, some of you may have noticed I've been pushing the UTC at you over the last couple of weeks. So rather obviously, it's going to be about UTCs and academic environments. I didn't know I had got quite so much experience within that environment. But you might want to ask him a few questions at the end. So, unless you have any more questions, I'm just going to quite formally thank Sam and IO for their time, and thank you for listening today. You've actually been really attentive because I've been sitting at the back answering my emails, but most of you have been listening to what they've been saying. So, thank you. All the way